Hey everybody, this is Blitzkrieg Modelworks. I'm Bob. You know me as Darkland on the forums. How's it going? This is probably the first time some of you have actually seen me outside of the weekend Google Hangout video chats that we typically do on the YouTube Modelers group. Video is in response to TacticalJackalope, Andy's video asking what got you started in modeling. And like many of the other modelers that have already replied, my start was my father. My dad was a bit of a modeler, preferred cars, classic cars, and fantasy type cars that were available in the 60s. Like the Man from U.N.C.L.E. type cars, the Munsters, things like that, as well as the Duesenbergs, the Packards, the Stutz Bearcats, things like that. Really cool, old school, artsy type cars. Not the stuff you'd see today, but. And I remember when I was about 5, he got me started on building, and I don't really remember what we started with. I do have memories of, and this is old school for some of the guys, old 148th Bandai kits, armor kits, and these things had like full interiors, engines, the whole works. They were actually really cool. I haven't seen one in decades. Haven't really looked, even though, as you can see, armor is kind of my passion. We also did some, I also remember doing a monogram Dauntless Dive Bomber in 48th, and I remember that specifically as it was the first time we'd actually painted anything together. Well, he did most of the painting, well, all of the painting actually. And I recall we actually used Tester's rattle cans at the time for the blue and the red for the dive bomb flaps. Over the years, he kind of tapered off modeling. He got more into carpentry, fancy finish carpentry, things like that as a hobby. And I got more into armor, science fiction. A lot of things really changed. I got introduced through my father to IPMS, the International Plastic Modeler Society, where we lived in Edmonton, Alberta. There was a very, very large community, very active community, very highly skilled community, if I may say so. So knowing some of the people that I knew there who taught me how to do some pretty advanced stuff for, like, the figure technique that I was just showing that I'm going to do another video for here shortly. What I call it the reverse dry brush technique. I don't know what the actual name is called. I was taught when I was 9. I always had a problem using artist oils, doing all the blending, all the different colors and the blending. I always found it a little difficult, but this reverse dry brush was just simple, like stupid simple, and put out pretty decent results. The thing that really got me, like many others, was this gentleman. I don't have every book, but I bought all of these when they first came out. These are all original first editions. And then as well, I have, they're all over in my reference rack, but Verlinden. Francois Verlinden was another huge, what do you want to call it? Inspiration. Sorry, a little bit of a brain fart. And being with the group that I was with, and I'm not going to name drop, let's just say that back in the 90s, there was a lot of very big names model-wise that lived in Edmonton, and I was very privileged to, count many of those as my friends or associates at the very least. I learned a lot from these guys. Some were very, very anal about what they did. Some were a little more lax. Some built fanatically. Others when the mood felt like it. But over the years, coming in and going out of the hobby during various life changes, career changes, I've always tended to do armor. I guess that's why I do it, is pause for another video. And I would like to challenge back to the other modelers of now that we've heard, how some of you got started, why do some of you build what you do? And I'm going to leave that to another video. I'll allude to the story later on, but that's how I got started. I did try to get my son started when he was about 5 or 6. He did a few kits, Brewster Buffalo. He did Tamiya's old Walker Bulldog, the M41 Walker Bulldog, a few car kits, and then video games came along, and he doesn't care for modeling. He thinks about it. He's 16 now, and he kind of hums and haws. Maybe he'll do something, but I don't think he'll do it. It's not for everybody. But yeah, so that's my response for Andy, and wish you all well. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. I didn't think the channel would be as well received as it was. I don't consider myself to be a very good modeler. I do okay. I compare it to some of the people I hung out with and some of what I see can be done, and I know what I'm capable of doing, and I'm not that good. I try. I try to be competent at least. So anyway, thanks again for watching. I really appreciate it, and hopefully I'll have a couple other build videos on the go if life can slow down enough for me to get a few hours behind the bench. All right, talk to you later. Bye-bye.